Ladies and gentlemen, every great champion, before they ever stood on a podium or crossed a finish line, first won the battle in their mind. They trained not just their bodies, but their thoughts. They filled their hearts with faith, cast out fear, and believed with unshakable certainty that they were destined for greatness. You see, the greatest power you will ever possess lies not in your muscles, your resources, or your surroundings. It lies in your mind. When you learn to think like a champion, to focus like a champion, to believe like a champion, then no obstacle can hold you back. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary is often found in the thoughts we choose to think. And tonight, I want to tell you something simple but life-changing. Train your mind with faith, with discipline, and with purpose, and you will unleash a life of victory. Champions are not born, they are shaped, forged in the invisible arena of the mind long before they step onto the battlefield of life. The victory you seek, whether in your career, your health, your relationships, or your personal growth, doesn't begin with action. It begins with thought. Your mind is the starting line. Every success story you've ever heard first existed as a seed of belief planted deep within someone's heart. That belief was watered daily by positive thoughts, faith-filled declarations, and a refusal to accept defeat. The truth is, what you consistently think, you ultimately become. Your thoughts are powerful. They are creative forces. If you think defeat, you invite defeat. But if you think strength, courage, faith, and perseverance, you lay the foundation for a winning life. Champions know this. They know that the most important training ground is not the gym, the office, or the classroom. It's the mind. That's where fear is conquered. That's where confidence is built. That's where every dream begins its journey toward reality. The Bible says, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." This isn't just poetry, it's a spiritual law. You become the product of your most dominant thoughts. If your mind is filled with doubt, anxiety, and limitation, you will live a small, uncertain life. But if your mind is trained to focus on faith, on possibility, on the goodness of God, and the strength He has placed within you, then you become unstoppable. Champions don't entertain thoughts of failure. They train themselves to expect victory even when the odds seem impossible. Training your mind like a champion means developing mental habits that support your destiny. It means catching every negative thought and replacing it with one filled with truth and power. It means visualizing your goal, praying over it, believing in it, and taking daily steps toward it with the confidence that God is guiding your path. It means surrounding yourself with voices that lift you up, not weigh you down. It means waking up every day and choosing to think thoughts that lead to strength, not weakness. You don't have to be the strongest, the smartest, or the most experienced to win, but you do have to believe. You do have to think like a winner, because until you believe it in your mind, you won't hold it in your hand. Champions are made in the mind first, and if you will train your thoughts like a champion, if you will speak life, see the good, expect the best, and trust the process, then there is no dream too big and no mountain too high. Victory is waiting. It begins in your mind. Start today. Think like a champion. Live like one. Your mind is a garden, and every thought is a seed. What you plant will grow, and what you allow to grow will eventually shape your life. If you consistently allow doubt, fear, and negativity to take root, they will grow into limitations, regrets, and a life that feels stuck. But if you learn to harness the power of positive thinking, if you fill your mind with faith, confidence, and optimism. You'll begin to see life shift in extraordinary ways. You'll rise above the limitations that once held you down. You'll find strength where you once saw weakness, and hope where you once saw defeat. Positive thinking is not about pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing to see the possibilities even in the middle of problems. It's about believing that with God's help you can handle whatever comes your way. It's about having the courage to say, things may be tough, but I will not give in to fear. I will not be controlled by doubt. I will walk in faith and expect good things. That is the mindset of a champion. That is the mindset that transforms ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. When you choose to think positively, you're not denying reality. You're deciding not to be defeated by it. You're choosing a higher perspective. You're aligning your mind with the truth that God is for you, that you were created for a purpose, and that you have the power to overcome. It's a spiritual decision. It's a daily discipline. And it's one of the most powerful forces you can ever activate in your life. Fear and negativity will always come knocking. They'll whisper lies in the quiet moments. You're not good enough. You'll never make it. Why even try? But you must answer them with truth. You must speak faith to fear. Say, I am more than enough. Say, I am capable. Say, with God, all things are possible. Every time you do, you are strengthening the muscle of your mind. You are building the reflex of a champion who refuses to bow to discouragement. Confidence is not arrogance. It is assurance. It's assurance that you were created with value, with ability, and with purpose. Optimism is not naivety. It is courage. The courage to hope in the face of hardship, to believe in the face of adversity. Positive thinking lifts your vision. It opens doors. It draws in opportunities. It doesn't just change your attitude. It changes your outcome. You don't need to have it all figured out to move forward. You just need to believe that good things are possible. You need to believe that every challenge has a lesson, every delay has a reason, and every day is a new chance to grow. So today, choose to think on what's good. Speak what's true. Believe in what's possible. Harness the power of positive thinking, and you will begin to live a life of peace, power, and purpose. Faith is not just a feeling. It is the driving force behind every great achievement. It is the fuel that powers your mind when the road gets tough, when the mountain looks high, and when the answers seem far away. Faith is what keeps a champion moving when logic says stop. It is that deep inner knowing that no matter what happens around you, something greater is working within you. When you train your mind to lean on faith, you tap into a strength that does not come from the world. It comes from God. You were not created to walk through life in fear or hesitation. You were created to walk in confidence, in purpose, and in divine power. Faith is believing in the unseen, trusting that there is a higher plan, even when your eyes can't see the outcome. It is saying, I don't know how this will work out, but I believe that it will. It is standing firm in the storm and declaring, God is with me, and I will not be shaken. That kind of faith transforms your thoughts. It silences doubt. It gives you peace in chaos and strength in weakness. Champions don't just rely on their own strength. They rely on something greater. They believe that they are being led. that their steps are ordered, and that their path has purpose. This belief gives them the discipline to keep showing up, to keep training, to keep moving forward even when progress is slow or invisible. They are not controlled by what they see. They are guided by what they believe. And that belief is rooted in faith. Faith doesn't always mean the absence of fear. It means you choose to move forward despite the fear. It means you speak truth even when your mind is filled with questions. It means you declare victory even when the battle looks overwhelming. Champions train their minds to respond with faith, not just once, but every day. They feed their spirit with promises, they guard their thoughts with prayer, and they fill their hearts with hope. When you live by faith, your mind becomes a place of strength. You stop asking, "What if I fail?" and start saying, "What if I succeed?" You stop shrinking in the face of challenges and start rising to meet them with confidence. You no longer depend solely on what the world tells you is possible. You depend on what God has already promised is possible. Faith builds resilience, it sharpens focus, it develops courage, it gives you the power to keep going even when nothing makes sense. It turns obstacles into opportunities and setbacks into comebacks. When your mind is fueled by faith, there is no limit to what you can achieve. So today, trust the process, believe in the purpose, lean into God's plan. Let faith be your mental fuel, and you will move through life not as a victim, but as a victorious champion. Discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you are meant to be. Just as a champion athlete trains their body day after day to build strength, endurance, and precision, so must you train your mind with the same consistency and care. Your thoughts are the starting point of every action, every decision, and every outcome. If your thinking is weak, undisciplined, or negative, your life will reflect that. But if your mind is sharp, focused, and filled with uplifting truth, then your path becomes powerful, purposeful, and aligned with victory. Training the mind is not a one-time event. It is a daily commitment. Each morning, you have the choice to let your thoughts wander into fear, doubt, and defeat, or to guide them with intention toward faith, confidence, and peace. Discipline is choosing which thoughts you will feed. It's not allowing your mind to be ruled by emotions or circumstances, but instead grounding it in truth. It means starting your day by filling your heart with Scripture, reminding yourself of your worth, your purpose, and the power that lives within you. The mind, just like the body, grows stronger through repetition. When you speak positive affirmations every day, when you declare, "I am capable, I am chosen, I am strong, I am not alone," you are rewiring your mind to believe those truths. Over time, those words begin to take root. They shape how you see yourself, how you respond to challenges, and how you move through life. And it's not just about speaking words. It's about aligning your spirit with them, believing them with conviction. When negativity tries to creep in, as it always does, discipline is what stops it at the door. A disciplined mind recognizes harmful thoughts quickly and replaces them with words of life. It says, "No, I will not dwell on fear. I will not rehearse failure. I will think on what is good, what is pure, what is uplifting, and what is true." That is the power of mental discipline. It is spiritual armor against doubt and discouragement. And understand this, discipline doesn't always feel easy. There will be days when you don't feel motivated, when your thoughts want to spiral, and when it seems easier to give up than press on. But champions press on anyway. They know that results are built through consistency, not comfort. They know that peace of mind comes not by chance, but by choice. So they train daily, they pray daily, they speak truth daily, and in doing so, they grow into people who can handle the pressures of life with grace and strength. Your thoughts are seeds, and the mind is the soil. Discipline is the gardener who chooses what grows. Choose to plant courage, hope, love, and faith. Guard your mind with care. Feed it with the Word of God. Surround it with positive voices and renew it every day. With disciplined thoughts, you don't just survive, you thrive. You become the champion God created you to be. What you see in your mind, you will one day hold in your hand. Champions understand the power of vision. Long before they achieve greatness, they see it, they imagine it, they walk through it in their minds with complete clarity. This is not wishful thinking. It is intentional mental preparation. Visualization is one of the most powerful tools a person can use to train the mind for success. When you begin to picture your goals as already accomplished, you shift your mindset from maybe to certainly. You begin to think, act, and respond as though the outcome is already yours. The truth is, your mind doesn't distinguish much between imagination and reality. What you repeatedly see in your thoughts begins to feel real, and the more real it feels, the more motivated, focused, and aligned you become. Champions use this truth to their advantage. They visualize every step, every challenge, and every victory in advance. They see themselves crossing the finish line, standing on the stage, completing the mission, or rising from failure. They don't just hope, they see it clearly and repeatedly. This mental imagery is more than just daydreaming. It's spiritual rehearsal. It's preparing your heart to receive what God has already planned for you. When you visualize your victory, you are partnering with faith. You are saying, I believe something good is coming. I trust that this vision was planted in my heart for a reason, and I am going to mentally live in the future I desire because I know with God's help I will get there. Visualization sharpens your focus. It keeps your goal in front of you. It silences distractions. It reminds you why you started, and it fills your heart with the energy to keep going. When you can see the finish line in your spirit, it becomes easier to endure the long road ahead. You stop asking, is it possible? And start declaring, it's already done. That shift in mindset is what separates a champion from the crowd. You don't need to see the full picture today. Just start with the next step. Close your eyes and imagine yourself walking in purpose. Imagine yourself free from fear, filled with confidence, doing what you were created to do. See the doors opening. See the favor flowing. See yourself overcoming. And as you visualize, speak life into your dream. Say, I am on my way. I am becoming who I was meant to be. I will not quit. I already see my victory, and I'm moving toward it. Never underestimate the power of a clear mental image. What you see consistently will shape your thoughts, your words, and your actions. So take a moment each day to visualize success, not for pride, but for purpose. Let that vision drive you, encourage you, and prepare you. Champions live in their victory long before they reach it, and that is why they never give up. See it. Believe it. Walk toward it. The victory you see today is the reality you'll step into tomorrow. Setbacks are not the end of the road. They are simply part of the journey. Every champion, no matter how great, has faced failure, rejection, disappointment, and defeat. But what sets them apart is how they respond. They don't quit. They don't allow the pain of a moment to cancel the promise of their future. Instead, they dig deeper, rise stronger, and keep moving forward. They understand that every setback is a setup for a greater comeback. It's not the fall that defines you. It's the strength and faith you choose to stand up with afterward. Life will test you. There will be moments when your plans fall apart, when things don't go the way you hoped, and when the road ahead seems too hard to walk. But those are the very moments that shape champions. Those are the times when your faith is tested and your character is refined. It's in the valley where you develop the strength to climb the mountain. It's in the fire where the gold inside you is revealed. Setbacks are not signs that you're finished. They are invitations to grow, to trust, and to rise again. Champions learn to look at obstacles not as barriers but as blessings in disguise. They ask, what can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? What is God teaching me through this? They turn their pain into purpose and their trials into testimony. They know that no experience is wasted when you walk with faith. Even the hardest moments can become stepping stones when you believe there is a higher plan working in your favor. God never promised a life free of struggle, but He did promise to be with you through it all. And when you trust that His plan is greater than your present pain, you stop fearing failure. You begin to understand that the closed door wasn't a rejection. It was a redirection. That the delay wasn't denial. It was preparation. That the struggle wasn't punishment. It was strength training for your purpose. Champions lean into that truth. They trust that even when they can't see the way, God is making a way. You may not understand the reason for the setback while you're in it. It might feel heavy. It might feel unfair. But don't let it break you. Let it build you. Let it push you to pray harder, think deeper, and believe bigger. Use it as fuel. Use it as motivation. Declare over your life, this will not defeat me. I will rise. I will overcome. I will turn this pain into power. Every champion has scars, but those scars tell a story of survival, strength, and faith. You are not alone in your struggle. You are not forgotten. You are being prepared for something greater. Keep pressing on. Keep trusting God's timing. Your setback is just one chapter. It is not your whole story. Let it become a stepping stone and walk boldly toward the victory that still lies ahead. Your words carry incredible power. What you speak over your life, your goals, and even your struggles becomes the foundation on which your future is built. Champions understand this. They don't speak defeat even when they are surrounded by challenges. They don't talk about how impossible something is. They declare that they will find a way, that they are equipped, and that with God on their side, nothing is truly impossible. When you speak life into your mind, you're not just making noise. You are shaping your thoughts, your emotions, and your destiny. The mind is always listening, and the words you use train it either towards strength or weakness. If you constantly say, I'm tired, I'm not good enough, or this will never work, your mind will start to believe those words and your life will begin to reflect them. But when you declare, I am strong, I am capable, I am moving forward, and I am favored by God, you're feeding your spirit. You're activating courage, perseverance, and belief. You're speaking to your future with faith. Speaking life is not about denying problems. It's about refusing to give problems the final word. It's about deciding that your words will lift you, not limit you. The Bible says, death and life are in the power of the tongue, which means what you speak matters deeply. When you train your mind by consistently declaring truth, strength, and peace, you begin to build an inner world that no outside storm can shake. Even in moments of fear or failure, champions speak differently. They don't say, I'm finished. They say, I'm learning. They don't say, I'll never make it. They say, this is preparing me for something greater. Their words are filled with hope, and that hope fuels their discipline. That hope strengthens their spirit. That hope pushes them past limits that once seemed permanent. Make it a habit to speak life first thing in the morning. Look in the mirror and say, I am ready, I am blessed, I am focused, I am becoming the person I was created to be. Throughout the day, when stress hits or discouragement creeps in, respond with life, giving words. Say, this situation will not break me, I am rising, I am covered by grace, I am walking in victory. You have more power than you realize, and much of it lies in your tongue. Speak what you want to see, not just what you feel in the moment. Speak to your future with intention. Declare success over your business, peace over your home, healing over your body, and favor over your path. Keep repeating those declarations until they become your natural response to every circumstance. Words shape thoughts, and thoughts shape actions. When you choose to speak life, you are choosing to think like a champion. You are choosing to train your mind for strength, victory, and endurance. The voice you use every day is either building your future or tearing it down. So choose wisely, speak life, speak power, speak purpose, and watch how your world begins to align with the words you declare. The people and environments you surround yourself with play a powerful role in shaping the direction of your life. You may not realize it every day, but your atmosphere speaks to your mind. It either pushes you forward or holds you back. Champions understand this. They are intentional about who they allow into their inner circle and what kind of voices they listen to. Because when you're training your mind to rise, to believe, and to overcome, you can't afford to carry the weight of negative influence. You need to be surrounded by voices that lift you, not limit you. People who see your potential, who speak faith into your life, and who challenge you to be better, not bitter. It's hard to fly like an eagle when you're surrounded by turkeys. If you're constantly around people who complain, criticize, and doubt, it won't be long before their words and energy start seeping into your own thinking. And it's not just people, it's the atmosphere. The books you read, the shows you watch, the music you listen to, the conversations you engage in, all of it feeds your mind in one direction or another. That's why a champion carefully curates their environment. They guard their mind the way a soldier guards a fortress. They ask, is this building me up, or is it tearing me down? Upliftment isn't just about encouragement, it's about alignment. When you're surrounded by people who are also growing, also believing, also working to become their best, it becomes easier to stay disciplined. You feed off that energy. Their progress motivates you. Their mindset sharpens yours. Iron sharpens iron. Champions don't just seek company. They seek connection with people who are going where they're going, who speak the same language of purpose and faith. Sometimes that means making hard decisions. It means walking away from toxic conversations. It means setting boundaries with people who drain your energy. It means choosing quiet over chaos, peace over pressure, and growth over gossip. It's not about judging others. It's about protecting your mental space. Because when your mind is clear, strong, and filled with uplifting energy, your decisions become sharper. Your vision becomes brighter. And your steps become bolder. God didn't design you to walk through life carrying the weight of discouragement. He placed within you a spirit of power, love, and a sound mind, but you must do your part by creating a space where that spirit can thrive. Fill your surroundings with truth. Listen to messages that inspire. Read words that strengthen. Spend time with people who pray with you, believe in you, and speak destiny over your life. And if you don't have those people yet, be that person for someone else. Because what you give, you attract. Your environment matters. Choose it with care. Build a life that lifts you higher. Stay rooted in faith, surrounded by strength, and focused on growth. When your atmosphere supports your purpose, your mind becomes a champion's mind, ready to rise, ready to lead, and ready to win. Prayer is not just a spiritual practice. It is a source of power, guidance, and peace. It is where your battles are fought and where your victories begin. Champions understand that they are not walking through life on their own. They know that there is a higher power guiding them, strengthening them, and preparing the way before them. And because of that, they pray not just in times of trouble, but as a daily habit. Prayer becomes the foundation for their mindset, the fuel for their focus, and the anchor that keeps them steady when life tries to shake them. When you pray, you are connecting your mind with God's wisdom. You are aligning your thoughts with His truth and inviting His presence into your day. The world is full of noise, distraction, and pressure, but prayer creates space for peace. It gives you mental clarity when your thoughts are scattered. It gives you strength when your energy feels drained. It gives you confidence when fear tries to creep in. Prayer reminds you that you are not alone, that no matter how big the challenge, God is bigger. Champions don't pray just to get through the day. They pray to conquer it. They wake up and declare, "Lord, guide my steps today. Fill me with courage. Help me focus. Help me believe." They don't wait for a crisis to start praying. They live in constant communication with the one who holds their future, and in doing so, they train their mind to stay centered, to stay grounded, to stay strong. There is something powerful that happens when you begin your day in prayer. You don't carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. You hand it over. You stop relying only on your own strength, and you tap into a supernatural strength that never runs out. You may not know every answer, but you walk with peace because you know the one who does. You may face uncertainty, but you move forward with courage because you know God is with you. Prayer doesn't always change your situation instantly, but it changes you. It changes the way you think, the way you speak, and the way you respond to life. It builds your patience. It deepens your faith. It opens your eyes to opportunities you would have missed in your own stress or confusion. Champions make prayer a lifestyle, not a last resort. They understand that success is not just about skill or effort. It's also about surrender. It's about letting God lead. Every time you pray, you are training your mind to trust more and fear less. You are choosing peace over panic, faith over frustration, so pray without ceasing. Talk to God like a friend, like a father, like the source of your strength. In every decision, in every setback, in every dream, pray. Prayer is not weakness. It is the greatest form of mental and spiritual discipline. And when you live a life rooted in prayer, you are walking in the footsteps of champions. Greatness is not built in a moment. It is built in the quiet, steady rhythm of daily discipline. Champions don't rise, because they had a single burst of inspiration. They rise because they show up every day, even when they don't feel like it. They understand that consistency is the secret to success. It's not about being perfect. It's about being persistent. It's about doing the right thing again and again until excellence becomes a habit, until faith becomes second nature, and until victory is no longer a question. It's a result. When you look at those who have achieved extraordinary things, you'll find that behind the scenes were thousands of ordinary days filled with small, intentional choices. They practiced when no one was watching. They prepared when no one was clapping. They believed when no one else did. Because champions know that what you do daily shapes what you become permanently. Talent may get you noticed, but consistency is what keeps you growing. It builds endurance. It sharpens your skills. It develops the kind of mindset that refuses to quit. You don't need to make massive changes overnight. You just need to start small, stay faithful, and keep going. Read a page, take a step, speak a word of encouragement, pray with intention, practice your gift. It may not seem like much today, but those small steps compound over time. They create momentum. They train your mind to expect progress instead of perfection. And little by little, you'll see transformation take root, not just in what you do, but in who you are. Consistency is a reflection of belief. When you truly believe in your purpose, in your calling, and in what God is doing in your life, you won't need outside motivation to keep going. You'll be driven from within. You'll wake up with purpose. You'll act with intention. You'll speak with power. And even on the days when nothing feels different, you'll keep showing up because you know something is happening beneath the surface. God rewards consistency. When He sees you being faithful in the small things, He prepares you for bigger things. Every disciplined thought, every obedient step, every quiet moment of persistence is part of a larger plan. You may not see it yet, but He's building something lasting in you, something strong, something steady, something unshakable. So don't get discouraged by slow progress. Don't stop when the results aren't instant. Keep planting seeds, keep doing the work, keep showing up with faith. Greatness is not an accident. It's the outcome of consistency rooted in belief. Every day, you choose discipline over distraction. Every time you choose persistence over pressure, you are becoming the champion you were created to be. Stay steady. Stay faithful. Greatness is not ahead of you. It's already being built inside you, one day, one thought, one choice at a time. Fill your mind with faith. Speak only victory, and walk forward knowing that with God beside you,